Well, here's something you hadn't seen me work on before. There's not a carburetor, not your old aluminum intake on there. A lot more wires than I'm used to. What's going on, guys? Today we're checking out our 5.3 that we have for our 10-second Fox body. So this is a 2003 5.3 out of a express van or something. I can't remember what it's out of. I got it from a friend for 300 bucks. It was missing a few coil packs and rocker arms, but it had the wiring harness, computer. I have a truck intake that you can't see. It's the perfect candidate for our 10-second Fox body. Basically, by the end of this video, we're gonna see if this thing runs. We'll have it running on the stand and we'll see how that goes. I'm starting off this project at 10, 11 o'clock at night, and just to get it started. You know, I've had this engine sitting in here for, I don't even know how long. Probably going on 7, 8 months now. So we're gonna do as much little piddly things as we can, like install spark plugs. Make sure I had to replace these rocker arms over here. There weren't any, so I got some from a junkyard. And I can't remember if I torqued them down to the right value, so we'll have to check that. This valve cover has a hole busted in it, so we'll replace that. If you guys want, I'll come grab you and you guys can get a good look up close to this beauty. So here's our $300 5.3. You know, we've even got the AC compressor. We've got the power steering pump, and of course, that's just gonna get gone. I don't want that. We got a real good layer of dirt, grime, grease, whatever. But hey, that just means that it's been running for a very long time. Full wiring harness. It's a blue-green, whatever that means. Drive-by-wire engine, so I'm gonna take this throttle body plug, cut it, and repin it all to work with a drive-by cable throttle body. Go ahead and move some of this stuff out of the way. And I guess let's start with torquing these babies down. Oh, as you can see, I guess it's pretty easy to tell if I torqued them down or not. All right, let's take our little beam style torque wrench and see where they're at right now. So it needs to be at 22 foot-pounds, and right now we're at 0. So let's give these things a little more sauce. Now we're gonna get our brand new, used, from the junkyard valve cover. See, we've even got the gasket in there. So while we're over here, let's go ahead and do our spark plugs. We're gonna be putting in some NGK with focus. NGK BR7 EFs, because we plan to boost this thing a little later. It's very important to gap your spark plugs. A lot of people don't know how important it is. You see right there in the electrode, you know, that space is your gap. So here's how you gap your spark plug properly. These are at the counter in AutoZone, O'Reilly's, whatever. And you see they have, you know, they have numbers all around. You take that, put it next to your spark plug and throw it, because we're not gonna use that. It's got a gap, and look, if there's a gap, it's gapped. And we're just gonna go ahead and put this baby in. I've got coil packs on, and I'm gonna come back tomorrow to this. I'm glad we finally got this started, but I'm gonna need a new intake manifold gasket. All right, engine looks a little different now. I figured you guys didn't need to see me putting coil packs on and fuel rails and injectors and intake manifold. That's all simple stuff. You put it on, you bolt it down, it's done. Now we have a complete engine going on. Let me explain a few things about drive-by-wire to drive-by-cable. On drive-by-wire intake manifold, you're gonna have a nipple right here, and I guess that's for PCV or I don't know, something like that. But it's in the way, and this goes to the same port. So you're gonna cut that off, and I'm gonna go back and put some JB weld over it. I think to start it up, it's gonna be fine. Bolts right up. You're gonna need wiring for your IAC valve and your TPS. The easiest way to do the wiring on a drive-by-wire, drive-by cable is go to the junkyard, find a drive-by cable car, and get the pigtails from the harness, get the entire thing. So I have the whole thing from the connector all the way down. You see, they're right back there. All the way down to the pins. So all I had to do was look up on lt1swap.com where the pins go in a blue-green computer, and I just plugged them in. So boom, wiring done. Don't be intimidated by drive-by wire and drive-by cable swap. It's really easy. So let's get into talking about some of the wiring that we're gonna do. To get this engine to run on the stand, you're gonna take every pink wire out of this, as well as all the black wires. And I think there's only one. Yeah, just one black wire and these two orange wires. The pink wires, you can wrap them all together. Orange wires, wrap them together. Black wire is gonna go to ground. So take that directly to your battery. All your pink wires are gonna go to your battery positive, and your orange wires are gonna go to your battery positive. So what I'm gonna do is, as I'm taking these wires out, I'm gonna mark them with masking tape and a Sharpie so I remember where they go. And you can look up on lt1swap.com. I think it's like A, B, C, D, E, F, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way down. Oh, also, these have double locks. So you take a pick or something and slide out that lock. And same on this side. Really easy. And then you depin it like you depin any other connector. Now let me show you our fuel system. I need to hook up the vacuum for the fuel pressure regulator. So still have to do that. So we have our feed line and our return line. Just fuel injection hose from Amazon and fuel injection clamps. They're running down, and there's going to be a 5-gallon bucket here, but you see I have the end of the return line that's just going to go in there. To supply the fuel is just this cheap Chemso pump, and it's, I don't know, 230 liter per hour, 240, I don't know, I can't remember, but it was cheap. It was only $30 and came with everything. Running a ground and a, what do you call it? Ground and a positive. That's what it's called. That'll run all the way to the battery over here. So I have to go to a Walmart tomorrow to get a bucket to put this in, put some fuel in. So tomorrow I'm gonna go to grab some battery terminals that I can hook ring terminals to, just to make connecting this wire octopus a little bit easier. Oh, there, like I said, we'll get that 5-gallon bucket to fill up with some fuel and bring this thing to life. I don't think I'm missing anything. If I am, we'll find out. Maybe get some plugs for some, I don't know if there are any open ports on the intake manifold for vacuum, but might do us some good to, you know, get some plugs to plug it up. Oh, also have to run vacuum from the fuel pressure regulator. That's right. Catch us again out here tomorrow. Alright, I'll show you how I finally had this thing set up. I was chasing bad grounds, bad voltage supply, bad everything. For the bad ground situation, you want to make sure all 3 of your grounds are attached. There's 2 on the back, and there's 1 that runs from the negative battery cable, and I just have that on the bolt up front. The other thing to help, get a set of jumper cables, put it right on the starter, and run that to your negative on your battery. Cut those side post terminals off, put these on. Got all my positives on my positive side. That's fuel pump, orange wires, pink wires. I've got this end of a, here, pull it out, a Hobo Freight do-it-yourself starter switch. So one side to the positive, and then the other side, see where the black is, that post on top of your starter. There should be a purple wire connected to there. Grounds go into the battery. I have the battery cable from the harness, that one that's on the starter. I've got my fuel pump ground and the black wire from the connector we depinned. I ended up not having to hook up the vacuum reference on the fuel pressure regulator. Turns out if you don't hook it up, you just get all the fuels, which is okay. I'm just running on a stand, no big deal. And there's our fuel tank. A little dirty, but you got the Kenso pump, the wires, and the dirt is from whatever was inside this cylinder right there. So, but hey, it ran pretty good, I think. Well, I am really excited right now. That was sweet. Nothing like bouncing off the limiter in your garage. I'm gonna put up a picture right now of what the wiring situation looked like before I cleaned it up a little bit. And just don't do it the way I had it. I had jumper cables going from the harness, positive and negative, to the battery, and it was just slow cranking and couldn't get it to start, and it was just frustrating. So just connected directly to the battery. Really, it didn't take a lot to start this thing on this thing. Definitely something you can do at home to check out your engine before you go through all the work of putting it in your car. Thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and remember, go get them red.